Hi y'all, welcome to I Might Delete This Later. I'm T, and this podcast is really just a space to slow down, to talk, and to listen to people's stories, to the small moments that shape us, and to the ways we see our faith show up in the middle of all of it. Around here, nothing's too polished. We're just noodling through ideas, sharing honest conversations, and see where they take us. Some episodes, it'll just be me. Other times, I'll be joined by friends and guests who've got stories worth leaning in for. So pull up a chair, grab your coffee, and let's see what comes out of today. And who knows, maybe I'll delete this later. You can tell in the recordings.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's me.
How about it?
So, for you, where did you grow up?
Oh, that's a good question. If you ask my parents, it'd probably be like Milpitas, like San Jose.
Is that where you remember Milpitas?
No, I remember mostly Southside San Jose. Probably like middle school. Like I remember parts of elementary school, but when like my memory starts to like fully form, and I'm like, oh, this is me growing up. Like I can kind of connect that. It's probably Southside San Jose.
That's crazy. So you don't remember? I mean, in Campbell, you were pretty young. I'm surprised you don't remember this Milpitas though. I
barely remember the Milpitas house. I do remember that you lived with us, I feel like, for a short period of time, or Brandon
I didn't
did.
live there.
I remember Brandon or Kaylin then did, for sure.
I did live with you guys. Do you remember that?
I feel like a short period of time was it not the Anselmo house?
That's what it was.
Okay.
So I was renting there, and then the person, I was subleasing a room, and he ended up telling everyone got to move out because he wasn't supposed to be doing that in first spot. But then I was telling your mom because you guys were looking for another place to move to. And then they're like, well, you don't have to move out. We can just move in. I'm like, okay. And that lasted like 3 months. I'm like, no, I'm going to move out. It was all good, but it gave me time not to have to rush.
That makes sense. Be able to find your own spot.
Yeah, for real.
But that's I feel like right about then is when I feel like I started to form memories like properly, or rather than like remembering. You remember, I think you've told me before, it's like you can only actually remember something for so long, and then you're remembering the memory of it.
Right, 15 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what school were you going to then?
Dartmouth. I just started 6th grade. Like
dang,
elementary to 6th grade, yeah.
You were a baby. And it was in the apartments, right? Didn't you move from like one apartment to another apartment on the south side?
That was like probably 8. Yeah, I definitely did, because we moved. I remember, to be honest, his mom bought the Mercedes one week,
right? And
then the next week she moved us to the new apartments.
Because she had a Honda before that, right?
Yeah, the Civic. Was it the Civic? Yeah, the Civic she gave to Brandon. No, she had that Civic stolen from the Blossom Hill. Then she got the Accord, and then she got the Mercedes.
Yeah, so you were closer to, I want to say, the mall side, and then you moved closer to the school side where like In-N-Out is and stuff.
Yeah, right by Allen at Steinbeck.
That's crazy. How long were you in each one?
The first one at Blossom Hill, I want to say, man, like maybe 2 years, 3, because we had just moved out of Mamma's house at that point.
Okay.
If you remember that.
So that was like the first spot for you guys?
Yeah, like first spot Mom landed her feet. And then
interesting.
It was about that same time when she got her job at, I think Kaiser? I think it was Kaiser at that time. Because she had just left Verisign before that, like before the divorce and all that. Yeah.
And you were at the other place for like, what, 3-4 years?
The Anselmo house?
No, the one that was right by the school field.
Oh, by Allen at Steinbeck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was probably at least 3 years. Because I'd almost graduated high school, and junior year is when we moved in together on the east side, and Kat's senior year.
Crazy. So long ago.
Yeah.
Not that long ago. It feels like a long time ago.
It feels so long because I see how old Isabella's gotten now, too. And that's like a lot of my reflections coming off of both of them.
She wasn't born yet, was she?
By the time I moved out, she was like 2-3 years old at that point.
Out of the house?
Yeah, once I moved down to SoCal for a little bit.
That's right.
Got a lot of move arounds.
What's something about your childhood that shaped you? Dun, dun, dun.
I hate to say it, but it's probably my dad's quote of like, if you're going to be stupid, do it smart.
What does that even mean?
It means that if you
look good while you're doing it.
you know you're going to be doing something dumb, you at least try to do your best to do it the smartest way possible. Means like, you know, if you're going to be trying to jump off a ramp on your bike that you probably shouldn't be doing on that bike, at least make sure you got a helmet on.
I guess so. Be safe about the stupid things you do.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Not saying that that's the best advice to ever give anybody, but that's like, if you ask what shaped where I'm at now.
So that's what you took as the gold standard for a long time?
Yeah, now I think
now?
I want to fix that. Yeah, no, now it's definitely much more of like, hey, think before you do the stupid.
Is it hard to break?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's easy to do the smart dumb thing?
It's easier to do the stupid, I guess, the smart dumb thing.
You know what's a good quality about that though is there's an air of fearlessness, because you're not really, like you said, now you're trying to be safe, but before it's just like, let's just see what happens.
I did experience a lot more, I felt like. I'd be a lot more down for most things. Like, somebody would be like, oh, let's go to the lake at 1 a.m. I don't care how tired I was. I'll grab a Monster and let's make that happen. Nowadays, I'm like, well, I got work in the morning, or I've got...
You're all responsible now.
Yeah, and I'm like, slow down. Or even on my weekend, someone's like, if we were to say go to the lake, for some reason, I'm more hesitant to get in that water than I used to be, of just like, well... Make sure I got my swim trunks on. I got my asthma inhaler over there. We'll be good, you know?
That's cool. Do you appreciate one more than the other, or you feel like having that type of building block was like setting you up for something in the future?
I think that the balance there is good. I think that learning a balance there is good. That it was good to give me experiences for sure, but I agree. I don't know if it was...
It'd be hard to kind of go through life without having those type of experiences, good or bad. That's what I kind of tell people, like they're afraid of having a bad experience, but I'm like, good or bad, you're still having an experience, and you can learn from that. If you always stop short of experiencing something, then you never know what you missed out on.
I like that. I should look into more of that. I honestly never thought about it like that either, to be honest. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do think my bad experiences have also shaped where I've come.
Right. I mean, there can be really bad experiences and definitely can shape a person. Yeah. Imagine if someone's getting like incarcerated. That's an experience, but who wants to have that type of experience to shape them? Exactly. Alter their brains. Your drink's there, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me too. Or did you put that there for me? Thank you so much.
You all get thirsty. So I guess that you've already said a little bit about what part of life are you in right now?
I think I'm in my building faith side of life, to be honest. I've had a lot of the like good foundation built for me, but I don't know, like now that I'm older and I'm looking back, I don't know how much I actually followed the foundation that was given to me either. You know what I mean? I have the right, I feel like heart condition in a sense that wants it, but now it's following those actions of trying to be like, hey, you're supposed to be spreading the word and you're supposed to be an example, and that's kind of what I'm trying to build my life to, as an example of what a good Christian man would be.
That's cool. Foundational is important too, because even if you didn't follow it, imagine if you didn't follow any type of foundation, or maybe people's other, foundational upbringing could be on the streets, or like
atheist, even like complete opposite.
So it's like a lot of people are like, I need to go back to like my core, and then you had a core in the faith of Jesus Christ, so you're able to go back to a core, something like that. So even if you didn't follow it, the fact that it's there is important. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a scripture talking about that as well.
I definitely say like verse Bible wise right now, I lean a lot like what you talked the other night with Paul of like, it's so easy to do what I don't want to do, and it's so hard to do what I want to. And then the other hand of like the prodigal son of like, he went away for a long time, made a lot of bad decisions, and then still came back, and there's still that love and empathy that came. That's something that for me is surprising, not only to see from like the church's aspect, but even my own family, to be frank. Like hearing from you guys, mamas, bampas, I don't always respond. I'm not the best at that whole. I've never been taught to properly have a relationship in a certain way. So your guys' kind of forgiveness through that has always been like a little bit more of an eye-opener for me too in that way.
Do you like the prodigal son story?
I do.
What do you take from it? The fact that there's acceptance at the end?
Not just that there's acceptance at the end, but that there's love to begin with. That even if he didn't leave, that there would have still been that love to be like starting off, and that yeah, he left. That's not the best choice to have like gone to, but knowing that there's that home base, I guess, is the most comforting part.
I like that. And as far as like a home base goes, what I always liked about the story too is how excited he was that he did come back. And the one brother was like, dude, like, look at everything he did. He kind of ruined his life. He spent your money. He's like, that's not the point. He came back. Like, even though I didn't force him, I let him do what he had to do. Like, he came back. This is the home base. And I think that's where Jesus wants. And everybody that wavers, he's waiting for them to come back. What's been the hardest thing about becoming an adult? Because you're a man now.
Realizing that I'm an adult. Realizing I'm responsible for my own decisions. Like, don't get me wrong, I knew, like, I had an idea growing up with the, like, kind of childhood I had, but realizing truly how responsible I am for my own decisions. Because, like, I mean, like, with bad habits, you look back for doing them for so long, you're like, wow, that affected me, like, dang, you know what I mean? I don't know how to like get too deep into it without just being, but like, you know, with my habits for doing them so long, I can look back and I'm like, yeah, I've had a lot of good family experiences. Those are my best memories. I used to think that my best memories were made by intoxicating myself in some way, shape, or form. And now that I'm older, that's the last thing that I actually was having fun with.
It really takes more of a mature mind to look at in hindsight and realize like I wasted so much time doing, because it's so dumb, because our parents are always like, you need to value these type of things. You're like, yeah. Like, it's always like, I understand that, but it's not as fun as like going out and hanging out with friends and doing what I want to do. And then you get older, you're like, dang it, I should have valued those times with my family more.
Yeah. Gone through almost a quarter of my life at this point, and what have I done? You know?
But what's mature about that is realizing that and moving on from that. Because I'm sure you've met adults like older than us that are still relishing on the past of like what they did and hang out and drink and like whatever it is. They call it debauchery. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we all kind of experience a little bit of that, but where's like, it's really like water through a bucket full of holes.
Exactly, kind of what you're talking with the other people that are older in this sense that have been still doing that. Be frank, working like at Piedmont Plastics or UPS even, and seeing people that were like twice my age that were stuck in the same position that I was at that age really put that in perspective for me at that point of like, whoa, wait, what decisions have you made? Because they sound very similar to what I'm doing right now.
There's an excerpt I have from C.S. Lewis I'll let you read that talks about that. I saved it because it's like, essentially it's that like you're always seeking those almost cheap thrills or relishing in the past. Like, I think he used an example of a pilot and how awesome it would be like to be able to fly, blah, 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 you know? He's like, at any point you can actually get in the plane and do it. Like, there are people that are stuck. They're always like trying to relive that past, or there's people that move forward and accomplish things.
Do it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's kind of what I'm working on with school even now. Because before, like, be honest...
You've already done way more than... Like, Noah's taking school. Really? Was he learning this? Really? And then he's almost done with school. I'm like, dang, good for him.
I was surprised.
Because you're doing it on your own. Nobody's like, no, you got to get up and go to school.
I didn't want to be stuck in my mom's house doing nothing with myself anymore.
Building a career for yourself.
Yeah, start.
Building characteristic for yourself.
Yeah.
What surprises you the most about your 20s so far?
How fast they're going by. I'm almost at I'm at 26, going to be 27 in just a couple months. Like about 6 months?
Let's
April?
See. December, January, February, March, April. 5 months.
5 months, yeah. So, like, I'm almost already halfway through them. And
then you'll be 28, then 29.
Yeah.
And then into the 30s.
I was kind of surprised on how fast they went by and, like, how much the brain changes from like 21 to 26. I am a totally different person in compared to then. Like before, I used to be a lot more selfish, not gonna lie. I feel like I was a lot more just like, how am I gonna be like, please me, you know? Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, I want to be with family and like kind of, I'd rather rather have the like mental struggles at points and still be there and then be able to enjoy it later. Kind of like what you talk about with the memories of things. I want my memories to be those like, oh yeah, we were there, we did it. We weren't hiding in this corner trying to do this or that, you know?
Right. I mean, I try to do the same thing with my kids because they do, oh, Dad, remember when we did this? I'm like, no. But I have to put effort in. I mean, Mike talks about that. It's from, what's that movie with the character that's in that girl's head? Inside Out.
Yeah.
He's all building core memories. Core memories. He's all about core memories. I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
I miss Mike. It's been a while since I've seen him.
I know, we gotta all hang out again. There's something else you were saying too. Oh, you were talking about between like 21 and 26, right? It always reminds me of like, yeah, that's why they don't rent cars to anybody below 25. You have to pay extra money if you want to rent them.
I would have been doing so many dumb things with somebody else's car.
Yeah, the rental company knows 25 is the number.
Yeah.
What challenges are you currently working through? As somebody who's 26 years old, living in Arizona.
Learning who I am is probably a big one.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds weird, I know, but it just like...
Do you feel like other people know you better than you know yourself?
To a degree. I feel like, to be honest, I got so lost in like just being 100. I got so lost in my bad habits for so long that I almost like forgot that there was a world outside of that for the longest time.
That makes sense.
And then finally, when I got out of those habits a little bit, like, don't get me wrong, but like when I started like experiencing new things, I think it was the trip that I went with Mom to Jamaica, like when they got married. And that was like one of the things that kind of started like triggering some things in my head even then a little bit more. Because I was probably like 23 at the time, 22, 23 when they got married.
Was it the trip or was it the marriage?
It was the trip.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I love Lance to death.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you're like, yeah, marriage? Is that something I can do? Or you're just like, Jamaica's awesome.
Wasn't even Jamaica's awesome, to be honest. It was that there was an experience outside of this that I had fun with. Like, and don't get me wrong, I did have fun outside of that at first, but it was almost like the struggles that I went through to be able to make sure I could do my bad habits when I was there weren't worth the experience that I genuinely had there if something bad happened.
Yeah, because they're almost like, let's hurry up and get this over with because I need to do some other stuff.
Almost, yeah. Well, not just that, but the other hand is just like, I could have gotten arrested and not gone on the trip.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that would have been horrible. Like, not just for myself, but for my mom and her wedding and how many people that starts affecting. And then, like, also starts making me think about, like, Isabella and Jackson in that way of, like, when I'm going outside and doing my thing and sneaking out. Like, even Margot when I was over there, I'm like, wow, that's something I grew up with because my dad did it, but I don't want to continue doing that.
That's what I was just thinking.
It's something that I grew up with as normal, and now that I see it as an adult, I don't think it's okay. As a kid, since I grew up with it, I felt like it was almost okay, and I think as my immature mind was like, oh, whatever.
Right.
But now I'm like, I'd prefer that to not even be a thought process for them.
That's mature. It's a mature way of thinking, and through that thought process, that's how you can get through a lot of situations in life. Where you're like, this is not right, and I think it can be better, and I think if I do A, B, C, and D, maybe you have to do all of them or one of them, that we can move past these situations. But it's realizing the folly in certain things. That's also a scripture that I've written.
Oh,
yeah, wisdom calls to others where folly is taunting. I'll let you read it. It's pretty good. It's pretty long. I don't know all of it.
Psalms or Proverbs, it sounds like?
I don't know. It was good enough to write down, so I have it saved. What's something you've learned the hard way?
Man.
And who helps you stay grounded?
I can answer the second question better than the first one right off the bat. And be honest with the second one to start off with, I'm praying, and I've been praying for somebody to be introduced to my life to help me that way.
Do you need a mentor?
Essentially, in a sense, yeah.
I didn't really think about it or ever really hear about it until I started going to church. And even after going to church for a while, then I heard someone talking about it. And it's like, oh yeah, this is my mentor. I've heard 3 different people. This is my mentor. I'm like, a mentor? Like, I'm like, I need a mentor.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have a mentor.
That's
I mean, we have parents, but their responsibilities kind of like change the way how they can be mentors, I think. And also they're skewed because it's like they might have a hard time telling you like straightforward, like don't do that, this and that, because they want to, you know, they love you, they care for you, they want to kind of guide you into a type of person. Where a mentor is doing the same thing, but they're just straightforward.
yeah. They almost don't worry about hurting your feelings because they just want to help you.
Right. And I almost think now, how do you even get a mentor? Put an application out?
That's a great question.
Looking for mentorship?
The best way I can come up with so far is, like I said, just praying for one genuine. Like, that's literally all I've, like... And that's kind of where you've seen me slightly talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses a little bit more, is because as I prayed for one, that's when all of a sudden I got someone knocking on my door and like, hey, you want to do a Bible study? And to me, although the witnesses have a very skewed idea of things...
Yeah.
Just make sure we don't hear the scream after. Although they have a very skewed idea of things, I don't ever think a Bible study's bad. But that's the kind of mentor I'm also looking for, is somebody who is scripturally foundationed. I don't want just like a worldly mentor or some, like what you're talking about at church. You're hearing all these guys, this is my mentor, that's my mentor. Somebody who's able to actually uplift them, like you said. Tell them the hard things. If I'm telling them, oh, I'm struggling with this or that, I would love for someone just to be like, well, then just suck it up and do this or that if you need to. You know what I mean? And like, I might be like, screw you for a minute, but I'll still get, you know, I'll still take that better than someone that just like, oh, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. You don't need a cheerleader. You need a mentor.
Yeah.
Praying about it. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. So many questions are answered through that way, and I struggle for that being my first response to things.
It's more recently been my you know how you talk about like fanning in and out with your relationship with God in that way? That's been something more recently I've been doing like much better with. What's up?
Who is that?
Vampus.
Oh.
Much better with, but I still struggle with
Consistency?
Yeah. And not just consistency, but I mean, like, I feel like everyone has this same struggle of like, I feel close to God, and then all of a sudden I start to feel further and further away, and it's not because he's doing anything.
No. Is there things that start happening that you're like, because for me, it's like, oh man, like, I'm feeling a little more struggle, or I'm feeling more angst about certain things. I'm like, when's the last time I even prayed? And it's like, it's been a while. I need to, and I kind of feel like that's why I'm heading in this certain direction, because I've let that relationship stale out a little bit, and then I gotta reel it back in, and then it takes me a while to reel it back in.
Yeah.
It has to be habit forming. Some people, I think it being habit forming is great, but I think the thing you need to look out for too is it becomes just another box to check, because some people want to do their morning prayer or their quiet time or their devotional, and they almost do it because they can go like, all right, done.
How do you define prayer, if I can ask? Sorry to cut you off, but how would you define it yourself? Is it something that's spoken aloud and only spoken?
So this is my short journey into your question, is I never really prayed out loud, right? I did, and I was just like, I don't know. It wasn't something I was used to, so I didn't really do it very often. I prayed in my mind a lot. And then I started praying out loud. It was kind of back and forth. I really wanted committed to one or the other. And I remember somebody saying like, I was telling him like, I feel like almost God hears my prayers better if I'm praying out loud. And I'm like, I don't know if that's just me. And they're like, he's all, God wants to hear your voice. I'm like, that's true.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if it just hits the brain differently, I believe. Even it hits my brain differently to bring it out in words. And it would hit my brain differently if you were speaking to me rather than just like writing to me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't I just pray out loud? One of the things I do benefit by praying out loud is Karen's deaf. So I'm like, I'm not gonna wake her up. So I can pray out loud in my bed, and I'll do it in bed. I'll do it in the car. I do it on walks. I tend to whisper when I start walking by people, because I'm like, it's kind of private, but at the same time, I'm like, they're gonna think I'm nuts. Because I'm doing hand gestures. I'm like I'm talking to somebody.
Oh, you're full. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'll riff for a good 20, 30 minutes without even thinking about it. And sometimes I don't really have much to say. And I know I repeat myself a lot, but
That's where I feel like I get stuck a lot.
yeah, but it's like, it's okay, because if it's on your heart and you're like, you tell somebody, if I tell my kids like every day, don't be doing this, because I don't want them to like hurt themselves. You know, I repeated myself a lot, but I'm trying to almost bring it to a point. And I feel like prayer works that same way. I'm praying to get to a point, even if I'm repeating myself.
That makes sense. I mean, sometimes too, when you have a conversation with your parents, it's not like the one conversation about the topic is the end of the conversation.
Right. I know. I'm different where I like, sometimes I wish it was, because I don't like repeating myself. And in prayer I do it a lot. So I'm like, oh, you know, whatever.
I really don't like revisiting confrontation ever. And yeah, I can connect on that.
Yeah. So how's it work for you?
So that's why I asked that exactly, is because personally, like, if I'm alone, there's no like mom or Lance at the house, I'll definitely be praying more aloud. I'll even read my Bible aloud more likely, just because for me, it's same thing. It connects a different way.
Mm-hmm.
When they are home, I'm probably going to be a little bit more quiet. I might shut my door just to make sure that they don't hear me when I am praying, and I might whisper it a little more like you talk about. I have gone on a couple walks, but on the walks, I'll mostly pray in my head. There was a verse, though, that I remember reading that said to meditate on his word day and night. I forget which verse that was.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I've been really trying, like, my very best to keep, rather than, like, I've been trying my best to keep my verbal prayer, like you almost talked about, not trying to check boxes, but, you know, like at least talk to him once in the morning. Let's check in, say hi to him. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the day, just have the constant conversation, almost like he's on my text stream, but he's just in my mental, like, hey, dude, I know I'm about to go step outside and do my thing. It's not my favorite thing right now either, so I'm hoping that you can give me some armor of God here so that I don't keep doing this, you know?
I think Paul says, pray ceasingly without stopping. And that's exactly what you're doing. Like, you know, even if it's in your head.
That's wake up, going to sleep, and then when I do have the times to get, like, vocal, that's when I try to, but I feel like I'm working a lot on the confidence of God. Very similar to when Jesus was getting crucified. If you remember, I think it's also Paul who he said, you're going to turn against me 3 times.
Oh, yeah, Jesus was telling Peter.
Yeah, Peter. Man, that one rains so hard with me sometimes, especially where I work. Or you probably might be able to understand this living in California, because that's where I feel like I deal with a lot of times is I don't want to deny my belief in Christ. And there's so many of my coworkers who are either atheist or Satanist. Like I've had one driver Satanist for the longest time. One coworker who claims to be Satanist but really just doesn't know what's going on. But like their mentality there, it's very hard sometimes to claim like I'm a devout Christian. I still try my best to sneak it in, but you know what I mean? Of like, I don't want to be someone who's going to turn my back on when it is hard like that either. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm learning my confidence. Are you afraid
of maybe confrontation?
Yeah.
I hear you on that too. I remember I had a social worker come to the house one time, and we were just talking because she's asking questions like about the household and stuff, because Jackson was starting a program called Head Start, and basically the county checks up on him for the first 3 years. It's just a program. It's automatic. Doesn't cost anything. But the social worker wanted to come to the house and see how he lives or how he would live. And we're like 3 questions into it, and then she's like, do you love Jesus? I'm like, because I'm talking to somebody from the county. I'm like, yes, we do. And what kind of threw me off was, should I say it? And the other thing that threw me off is I never heard anybody phrase it like that before. Do you love Jesus? Rather than like, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. She's like, I can tell. That's good. I'm like, okay. And having to think that good experience allows me just to say, because it happened to me at least two other times I want to say, where somebody asked me and I'm just like hesitant for a second. I'm like, I need to be honest. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost a test of character, I want to say a bit, but building that confidence definitely helps. And you shouldn't shy away from it. Even if it's scary. It's always going to be scary, I think. Some people are quicker to answer. I'm not. But I took the test and I feel like I passed.
I definitely feel like there's more recently that I've passed the test, but in the past I've definitely failed it I'll be honest. I definitely, especially in the moments where people are mocking, if that makes sense. And like, I will try to my problem is I'll try to give the defense with a light mockery. And that was before my problem, if that makes sense in a certain way.
So they weren't asking you directly, but they were making fun of a situation, and you're like, I'm not going to step in, right?
It might be something as simple as like, I'll be praying. I'll make the comment, I'll be praying for you. And they'll be like, oh yeah, that'll do so much work for me. And I'll be like, haha, it'll do as much as a text or something stupid. And that's not what I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to make them feel better about what they said. I'm supposed to make them feel confident in that the prayer is going to be there for them. And so that
I've heard people like ask, like, can I pray for you? And I always thought that was weird, but I think it would make sense for what you just said. Instead of saying what you'll do for them, be like, can I pray for you? And it's a yes or no question.
That's a better... Yeah, it gives the
they can say no. I'm like, okay, I won't.
Yeah.
And if they say yes, you can be like, do you want to do it right now? Like, I'll pray for you right now.
Yeah.
That'd be like maxing out on something I've never done either. I've never prayed for somebody right off the bat.
Yeah, that's one you're definitely asking for Holy Spirit to come in. Look how phenomenal my little anxiety dog is.
I'm going to ask just a few more questions.
Oh, you're chilling.
What are you hoping for in the next 5 years? And what scares you and excites you at the same time?
I'm hoping I can get closer to my family. I know that we're already close, but I'm hoping that I can get better. I'm not trying to like grow an umbilical cord to everybody, but you know what I mean? Of like, I'd love to be able to like now come to Thanksgiving, Christmases. Yeah, I don't care about how much money I'm making at this point. I'd like to make enough money so that I'm comfortable not to stress about it.
Right.
And from there, just like what you do. You've got your kids. You take them to the Heritage Girls. He goes to...
Trail life. Yeah.
Yeah, those kinds of things like that. That's my... I'd love to get to that. And in 5 years, if I could have my own little kid, dude, that'd be awesome. I also will say, though, I'm not going to push for that either, because as much as I'd like to have a relationship, I know that I haven't been the most healthy in my past relationship. So if God doesn't look for me to have a partner, I'm not going to sit there and push for it.
Right. God willing. Right?
Exactly. My goal mostly right now is within 5 years is to get close enough with the church, close enough with my family, and kind of just reorient my priorities that way.
I like that. What's one thing older generations don't understand about people your age?
You remember that movie, The Jesus Revolution?
Right.
I think they put that very well. I've gone to plenty of different churches, and I've talked to plenty of different like older people, and it seems like although they've also made the same mistakes, it's almost like as you get older, you're like, I'm better than them, and I think that if I tell you about my mistakes, you're just not supposed to make those mistakes.
Right.
And that to me is just like not how the world seems to work at all.
No.
I wish it was, but you know.
I was just talking to my sister-in-law about kind of the perspective of things, because she has 3 kids, and then, you know, they're all young, so they're playing, they're wild, they're loud, they're jumping, whatever, you know, that's how some kids are. Not all kids are in a line. But then she's like, that's what she's talking about. You go to meet some people who are like, this is my child, and they're just standing there like completely pleasant stuff. And then she's like, and then I feel like I'm being judged, because it's like, well, my kids, here's your kids in line, and I don't know where mine are right now. And it's like, I'm like, I don't like that, because everybody walks their lives a certain way. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's really just trying to figure it out. And like, almost like shame on you if you're judging them because they're not like you. And I think it goes along with the church. Like if you're an elder or if you're a pastor or whatever, then you need to know, you know, your struggles define where you are now. Their struggles are going to define who they are in the future. Give them some credit and give them some information and wisdom to be able to move into a better spot. Never be like, I can't believe you're doing that kind of stuff. It's like you may have not done something as bad as that, but what you did was bad still. There's no degree of badness. I mean, unless you get into like murder and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's no degree in badness. Bad is bad. Sin is sin.
It's like
You
on the highway. You're going to
you
speed.
lied.
You're going to cut
Yeah.
someone off. You're going to...
Right. There's a lot of ways to break the law on the road, but at the end, you're all breaking laws.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good analogy. So you feel like the older generation has a hard time understanding the struggles of the younger generation?
In a sense, but more along the lines, I guess the best way to put it is like, I feel like our generation's been, as generations have gone on, we've been pushed more and more to like, our culture is much more of the consumer culture. Mm-hmm. Consume, not consume good things either. It's consume a lot. Like, I don't see signs and posters that are saying love Jesus or love your family or take care of each other. Mm-hmm. Like growing up, there was commercials on the TV that used to say be compassionate. They'd have the whole like long thing of just being compassionate or be gratitude or whatever. You don't see that at all nowadays.
No.
You don't see the San Jose Sam who is picking up trash on the side of the road as simple as that.
Yeah.
Nowadays you hear a lot of like rap or you'll see posters for a bunch of different alcohol. And don't get me wrong, that's still there too. But like back in the past it's still there. But it seems like today it's a lot more heavily like as soon as you're getting like, I remember transitioning from a private school to a public school. Mm-hmm. And immediately, like, first day of school, like, you're seeing people with, like, a knife in their backpack or a little bud in their backpack, like, all kinds of things. So I feel like they just don't understand how how pushed this generation is to do the wrong thing in comparison to, like, before we had people that had pushed to do the right in a certain way.
Yeah. That is a huge problem. I don't think you would have to change, like, cultural minds to even like be able to shift any of that. So they're pushing people to sin.
That's exactly a good way to wrap that up. That's exactly what I see.
I agree. I remember talking to you about this before, where like the idea of individualism and selfishness is celebrated because they're like, who's number one? Like, I'm number one. Who's going to look out for you except for yourself? You know, and it's like in Christian faith, it's like, who's number one? Like, Jesus is number one, or God's number one, right? My neighbor is also someone I need to look out for in my family. Nowhere in that is it saying, like, I need to look in the mirror and be like, right, if I don't take care of myself, no one's going to take care of me.
The other thing that like you told me the other night, to be honest, that's been profound in my head, because I never thought about it the way that you put it, was Isaiah. When you brought up Isaiah. Man, growing up, I always thought of him as the most kind, loving. I thought of him as an uncle. Don't get me wrong. I still think of him as all three of those things. There's no different way I think of him that way. But I didn't understand his human struggle the way that you provided it to me the other night of like, he doesn't want to go and cook for everybody all the time and clean these dishes. And he probably doesn't always want to have certain conversations with people that he's willing to sit there and have at points. And that's something that even I've struggled with, that I know I've gone through and didn't realize that, who was there for me? God was the one that was getting me through that and helping that person on with whatever they needed through me. And I should have not only be thankful for the blessings that he like answers my prayers, but be thankful that he also like, hey, I'm going to make you do what I need you to do at points.
Right. If we follow our selfish desires, we'll be at home watching a movie, eating whatever we want to eat, drinking whatever we want to drink, and whatever, you know. And it isn't unless you have God in your life where it's like, I need to be out with the community. I mean, I try to teach my kids that, not a lot, but just recently me and Isabella did a program called Trash Punks. Oh. And so we were out cleaning basically the mess that the homeless people had left. There's a big spot off of Taylor. I can't remember the number. It was maybe like 40,000 residents. It was the biggest homeless encampment in the Bay Area or in the state.
Oh, I remember hearing about that one that got swept up recently too.
Yeah, so they cleared them all out. They got everyone's names down. They got everyone's needs down. They're like, you need to get out. What's your name? Do you need certain medications? And where are you going? Or wherever they place them, so they can actually keep track of where they all went. And they're like, and some people didn't want any of that. They just left.
That makes sense.
But their garbage is there. And it's like, all right, Isabella, we're going to come out here and clean this because it's going to better the community. And it was crazy because we're cleaning it up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like picking up garbage and I'm looking around. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm standing in a baseball diamond. And I'm like, this is old. It's definitely run down. But at some point, kids were playing baseball here, and now I'm picking up
Needles.
garbage. Yeah, I found one needle. We found batteries just buried underground. We had like a whole bag of batteries.
Man.
And it's just like, wow, like it was almost like a ghost area that I can imagine that kids were playing at one point, they have the lights so they can play night games.
Well, think about even possibly some of those homeless men that are like, or even female, whatever, that are living there, though, they probably were playing on that field before they decided to live there even.
That's true. But yeah, helping, providing opportunities for kids to be able to better a community and being in service of others, I think builds, like you said before, a foundation. So if I do blah, blah, blah so many times, and then eventually if we just don't do it anymore, we just move on to other things, when they become an adult, be like, I remember I went with my dad and cleaned up garbage one time, and I'm going to do that with my kids.
I will definitely say, especially with those experiences, that's for me. Remember when I was talking to the kids about, I had a high school project and I was peeling, they're like, how do you peel the potatoes so fast? Mm-hmm. There's a group called City Team in San Jose.
Oh, City Team, yeah.
Dude, I love them. I had a buddy actually that had gone through them too, and had like gone all the way through their program, and he's on the better side of it. He's in tow trucking with us now. Mm-hmm. But they're a Christian-based program. Mm-hmm. They help drug addicts and homeless people. And when I was at their facility, I forget where it was, but it is in San Jose somewhere. Like I said, they had me peeling potatoes and cutting onions, right? But when I was cutting the onions, there's one guy there. He looks like, I did not want to talk to him. He was terrifying looking. But he was like, hey, buddy, you want to know a little trick? I'm like, sure, right? He's like, if you just cut it this way, you won't cry anymore. And he taught me to cut the heart out of the onion so that you can cut everything else out and you won't cry if you get that heart out. He's like, that's the defense mechanism. I'm like, what the heck? But then even after that, they had me serving the food, and like, I was probably like 16, 17 at the time.
How'd you hook up with them?
Be honest, it was a senior project that they made me do. And so I was just like, I started Googling places I could do my my volunteer work just because I needed to get it done before graduation. I genuinely didn't. Frankly, I was looking for like a Petco where I could deal with cats or something stupid like that.
So would you say God was moving your life even then?
Yeah, definitely. Even when I didn't want him to be. Definitely. Because I had a friend named Marvin. I forget that Marvin until you asked. I
remember Marvin, yeah.
Yeah, Cuban kid. Yeah, he's awesome. But Marvin was the one that was already with City Team, and he said he was going there and that they had open slots, and I didn't have anywhere else signed up, so I'm like, dude, I'm in.
Look at that. That's divine intervention. I like that.
Yeah. Marvin's he's doing good now too. He went to school, he graduated. He's actually one of my rare friends that graduated.
Oh, awesome.
Remember David Maldonado at all?
I remember the name. I don't even remember what Marvin looked like, but I just remember the name. I remember you talking about him.
David was probably my best friend through high school outside of Anthony, but he went the opposite route of Marvin.
Did he go to the Marines or something like that?
No, that was Max. Max was my white friend that was a little more stocky. David was, we called him Blueberry.
Oh, okay.
Because he was a big boy. But do you know, like, the Insane Clown Posse at all? Mm-hmm. He kind of went down that rabbit hole a little bit. He's got like a tattoo on his face that's got the little the clown with the hatchet. And
jeez.
Yeah.
He's still doing it? Do you keep in touch with any of them?
I stopped talking to him, and I feel bad, but it's similar to what like I've talked to Bampas about a little bit. Is my faith just isn't strong enough right now to be able to help him where I'd like to. If I were to go talk to him and reach out to him, I'm worried that he might be able to influence me more again, and that's kind of where I don't want to quite go there yet.
You still have that risk-taking mentality, huh? What's something you're proud of, even if it seems small?
Oh, wow, that's a great question.
Do you find it hard to find proud moments?
Yeah, I feel like now I feel like I'm on the verge of the moments that I'm going to be proud of.
You know, because I'm trying to think, like, because even other people can be proud of you, the things that you do, but to you it seems like whatever. This is what I want to do. And I know your mom's proud of you for taking the courses, but that's her mind also. She's very academically driven, right? So anybody going to school, she's like, great.
Phenomenal.
She likes the fact that you're going to school. She likes the fact that you signed up for all your classes yourself. Like, you're doing it with no assistance. I know for her that's something she's proud of in you, but do you feel you're proud of yourself for doing that, or you just think like, no, I was just trying to get to from A to B?
I have slight proud of it, but I don't think that I was able to do that really. Like, not to be any type of way, but to be 100% frank, there's times that I'm doing my homework and like I said, I've got all A's and B's. I don't even know if I'm learning things half the time, but somehow they like, I've put my relationship with God as best as I can, and since then, that's when the school thing kind of started to work out better. That's when...
So you think your faith is something you can be proud of?
Yeah, I can actually bounce on that for sure. I wouldn't say that I'm proud of it yet, like not trying to be, but like it's helped me, and I'm thankful, very thankful that it's been there in my life. But like, I think I'm learning to destroy my ego right now, because that's what really ruined me in the past.
I like where you're coming from, and I think that's actually more important than being proud of something, because pride in itself can be a sin also. And the fact that you're hesitant to even answer that question, I think it shows growth in you.
I can appreciate that, right? But I think, to be honest, though, that's part of my thing. Is like, for me, it was a lot of pride and ego in my past that drove me to like, oh, it's going to look really cool if I can make a really big cloud in front of these people. Or, oh, the more I can do than they can do, then the better I'm going to be. And that was never the case. And like, now that I'm older, like, I learned that was all it did was ruin. Yeah. I only made it harder for myself now.
Yeah. Oh man, it's hard being someone on the outside watching somebody like, why did they do that? Like, they're just gonna be struggling, trying to get out of it. Like, it's not gonna work out.
I can only imagine, as you coming, like, being older, like, you already gone through your own experiences, and then seeing, I mean, you knew my dad growing up and seeing me and my sister growing up. Like,
yeah, I mean, being on the outside looking in, I'm very excited to where everyone kind of ended up. And even at the moment, because I remember being around your dad and I was like 14, right? I mean, that shows, and I still have a lot of love for your dad, just because the way I grew up, he was my brother-in-law, and he wasn't my first brother-in-law, but he was one closer to my age, I would say. And he was cool, he was exciting, he was loving, he did a lot of things that I appreciate. I tried to pick up his better qualities from him.
yeah.
I forgot where I was going with that. What were we talking about? Just somebody from the outside looking in, I guess.
Yeah. Making sure this isn't Mom trying to bug us or anything.
So I just have one more question.
Oh, you good?
Is it your mom?
No, it's my coworker trying to sign into my AAA. But I just told her you're good, so she needs to send the code. We're chilling now.
What's one thing you wish... Oh, okay. What's one thing you wish the world knew about you?
Oh, wow, that's a great question.
I'm trying to think. It doesn't even have to be the world. What is... Because the way I think about it, too, is like... If somebody that knew me was going to define me, what is something... How would you hope you were being defined by that person?
Loving.
Loving?
Yeah. I may make my mistakes, and I may not be a perfect person, but I'd like them to know that most of my decisions are going to be based off of love. Even if I am like selfish at points, I'd like to be able to switch my selfish decisions to more of a loving decision as I get older.
Why are you doing this? I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't want me to do it, fine, I'll back off. But
yeah, that's good. I mean, I remember just speaking on the word love. It was like, I heard something recently. It's like, why did God like create all these creatures or something like this or whatever, create everything? And it's like God is love, right? And he just needed to expel it out. And so he made all these things. And he's like, I hope that you can experience at least a little bit of what I feel all the time.
That's actually really, I'd never heard of that. I like that.
Right, I mean,
I've always wondered why.
Why did he make creatures? He's like, did he make them just to be worshipped? He's like, he doesn't need to be worshipped. He's just like, I have this immense greatness of feeling, and I hope you can have a little bit of that too.
And that makes that's a great way to explain love to me. It's like, there's not really words to explain it. There's an immense greatness of feeling that you can do nothing but expel in a certain way.
Like it's so much in you. It just spills out.
Yeah. I like that kind of definition in a way.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was it. Thanks for doing this, dude.
Oh, dude, thank you. I like those kinds of conversations, to be honest.
Nice. That was such a special conversation. Hearing my nephew share his upbringings, the challenges he walked through, and the way he chose to follow Jesus now. It's one of those moments you don't want to take for granted. These kind of stories are reminders that God meets us right where we are, in our doubts, in our questions, and in the quiet places where He starts something new in us. I'm grateful He trusted this space to talk about what God's been doing in His life, and grateful He spent the time listening. If this episode encouraged you to, or made you think a little deeper, I'll help you stick around for more conversations like this. Until next time, and you already know, I might delete this later.